Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Daniel and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a book that I think is wildly important in today's culture. In the world of today, we're always throwing around terms like toxic masculinity, mansplaining, etc., etc. There seems to be an attack on what is pretty much being a man. Everybody seems very confused about what being a man or being a woman is. And so I think that this is a book that is vitally necessary for our culture to get its hands on. This book is all about what it truly means to be a man. And that book is Wild at Heart by John Eldredge, Discovering the Secret of a Man's Soul. So before we dive into the book review, I want to encourage all of you beautiful people to smash that like button. And then if you want to see more videos like this one, to smash that subscribe button. Stay tuned and enjoy more videos. So here we are diving into Wild at Heart by John Eldredge, Discovering the Secret of a Man's Soul. And I believe that this book is so vitally important because in today's culture, it is so obvious to see that men are struggling terribly. There's clearly something going on that is not okay, something that needs to change. And Wild at Heart by John Eldredge does an excellent job at addressing that. This book really starts out talking about the fact that men are image bearers of God. So if we are going to find a true masculinity, a positive masculinity, a healthy masculinity, it is going to come from God. It's not going to come from culture. Biblical masculinity is obviously going to come from the Bible. And in the simplest way possible, John Eldredge sums up the purpose of every man is to find a battle to fight, an adventure to live, and a beauty to love. Now, I will say that that is a gross oversimplification of the points that John is making in this book, but it is a great summary to start off with. John then goes into the fact that every man has a wound that he is dealing with. There is a pain in his heart, whether inflicted by his father or another man in his life, that every man must struggle with. And this wound can cause us to become weak men. It can cause us to be overly aggressive men. But addressing that wound is vital to becoming the man that God made you to be. And while he's talking about every man's wound, John goes into detail about finding out exactly what that wound is, where that wound came from, and how to address it, while all the while staying within a biblical landscape, talking about how we need God to properly address and heal those wounds. Every man has an imperfect father, but every man also has a perfect father. So even though our dads may not have been the best fathers that they could possibly be, our Father in heaven can more than make up for it. Then for the rest of the book, John is talking about how exactly does a man find a battle worth fighting for? What is a battle worthy of your time and energy? He talks about exactly what he means by a beauty to love, and then he goes into details about what it means to find an adventure to live. Reading this book is so encouraging and invigorating because in a culture that preaches that it's time for men to sit down, shut up, be docile and silent, this book reminds us that men are passionate and wild, and that is a part of who we are, and it is necessary for us to live that way to enjoy a fulfilling life. Jordan Peterson talks about the fact that a weak man is not a good man, but a good man is a very, very strong, dangerous man who is in control of that strength. And I really resonate with that saying because what it means is that a good man isn't just some frail, timid little man, because what can he do to protect somebody? What can he do to stand up for somebody else? What can he do to provide for his family? But a dangerous, strong man can do all of those things. A dangerous, strong man will be willing to run into a burning building to save somebody else. But it is important that he has that dangerous side of him, that strength under control. And I think that's an important part of being a godly man. When we look at biblical figures in the Bible, we see figures like Samson and King David who are absolutely with their flaws, but God was able to use their strength and aggression for good. And so if you're a man, if you're interested in learning more about what it truly means to embrace godly masculinity, if you're curious about what God's plan is for your life, this is a fantastic place to start. One part of John Eldredge's message that really resonates with me, whether it's in this book or in the podcast that he does, the point that he brings up time and time again is that men are lacking in community. And that is something that I've definitely noticed in my own life and something that I'm striving to fix. It really does appear that men are more isolated than they've ever been, and community is something that we so desperately desire and need. And so I highly encourage that if you have a group of guys that you enjoy spending time with, that it may be worthwhile to grab Wild at Heart by John Eldredge and maybe do a book club together. Just read through this book, talk through the points, and see what you can learn from it. So to briefly summarize, Wild at Heart is all about what it truly means to be a godly man. Since mankind is made in the image of God, then obviously being a true man means being like God. Every man has been wounded, whether it's by their father or somebody else in their life, and it's important to address those wounds and to find healing for those wounds. And then every single man will find fulfillment in life by finding a battle worth fighting, by finding a beauty to love, and by finding an adventure to live. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is Wild at Heart by John Eldredge. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. I'm really glad that you guys are here. And if you want to see more videos like this one, smash that subscribe button. I can't do what I'm doing now without all of you beautiful people. So just to be redundant, thank you so much for being here. I hope that all of you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I look forward to making my next video. So, without further ado, have an absolutely fantastical, wonderful day. Have a great day, guys.